Today's gospel has two contradictory emotions. Part of it is rather happy, and the other is rather sad. The happy part is seeing salvation opened up to the nations. Jesus refers to Old Testament prophets, Elijah, Elisha, and how they were able to welcome this widow of Zarephath and Naaman the Syrian, who were not Israelites, who were not part of the chosen people, who were pagans. And yet, these holy men of God were able to interact with them. And these people were able to receive God's grace. We saw this already at the Epiphany. The wise men who came from the east. At the beginning of Jesus' life, we see salvation opened up to all nations. Because Jesus came down from heaven not just for one nation, not just for one people, but he came to be the Savior of the world. So whatever our color, our language, our race, our nationality, Jesus comes to us, Jesus welcomes us, and salvation is offered to all of us. That's the happy part of the gospel today. The sad part is that this is a story of rejection. Jesus goes back to his hometown, Nazareth. He grew up there. He worked there. They all knew him. They probably even liked him. But now that he started his public ministry and disciples have gathered around him, and he's even started working miracles in other places in Galilee, they have second thoughts about him. Who are you, this carpenter? You grew up with us. What makes you so special now? Jesus experienced rejection from his own people, the ones who knew him all those years. 30 or so years that he spent growing up in that village. Rejection's a terrible feeling. Most of us have experienced it at some time in our life. We don't like it. Whether it's as children being excluded in the schoolyard by other kids, or as we grow up and even into old age. Rejection, that feeling of being left out, not liked, not wanted. Jesus experienced it. And the experience of that rejection is something that he never wanted to do to anybody else. He would spend the rest of his ministry welcoming sinners, tax collectors, prostitutes, all the rejects of society. Jesus was rejected, but he did not reject others. And that's where we need to learn from his example. We who've also had that heartache of rejection at some time in our life, we need to open our arms and our hearts wide to all people, especially those people that nobody likes. That's where we can be a bit more like Jesus and say, "You are welcome here."